The mail brought me a present. This is a piece of ash. I'm going to try to get a 48-inch short bow out of it. It was 52 inches long, so I cut it down to get away from the damage. And then I spliced in just some walnut scrap, and I've worked it down to a little pin knock thing here. It looks pretty good. Anyway, I'm going to wrap sinew probably from here to there, or up in here anyway, just to hold that together. And then once we get sinew wrapped along this joint, we're going to put a second layer on the bow. So here's 2 layers of sinew. I've got a few, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it, but I've got a few little gaps. There's one. Otherwise, it looks pretty good. I'm not sure how long to leave it for, but it's going to sit right up there until it's done, whenever that is. So we'll lay this one out. I split it down to 1 inch. It split pretty good until right about here. I think I'll leave it 1.5 inches wide. And then I don't know what I'm going to do about a handle. If I'm going to leave it straight 1.5 inches, I'll probably come in at least to 1.25 inches for about 4 inches, just so I have some kind of a grip. But I want to do somewhere in here between the string knocks. I'm going to go draw knife it. Well, I was going to stop here. The brown stuff needs to go. This white is the layer I was after. But I've got this bug track here. It's not very deep, but I don't know if it'll focus. It's kind of porous or punky. So I guess I can go another one down, but I'm going to take it to I'm going to get it to look like this first, then we'll see. I'm almost there. So it is 1.5 inches wide all the way until 2/3 of the limb, which in this case is 7 3/4, and then it tapers down. Made it back up to hunt turkeys. Only got a couple hours left, but I'm gonna try anyway. Acts like it's gonna rain again tonight, so I might not be able to drive back in here tomorrow or the next day. So I'm gonna take the boomstick with me. I can hear one gobbling way back on the neighbor. I'm just gonna walk, take maybe one decoy and a mouth call, and we'll see what happens. It might not look like it, but there's a lot of arrow materials around in here. That's all plum thicket down there, and there's chokecherry on the other end of this. So aside from hunting turkeys, I'm going to try to gather some resources for some primitive arrows too. There's one. Come close. Been about 15 minutes since I heard him the second time, so I'm gonna guess he didn't want to turn around. I'm just going to work this edge and slip that bottom and see if he's still hanging around or if he's bugged out for good. No dice. He's back in that mess somewhere. And that's not me, so we're going to cut arrow shafts on the way back to the car. Here's some of what we're after. I've got lots of plum bushes on that end, but this is a stand of choke cherry. We just got hail a couple days ago, so a bunch of the flowers are knocked off, but there's a whole bunch of them. Like that whole hillside on the way down is full of these, and there's a bunch down here. So I'm just gonna kind of be selective. I think this is big enough, maybe from right about here down to about here. That might be a little skinny at the top. So something like that right there should make an arrow. So we'll cut that one and a few others about that size, and see if we can get a dozen or two. Looks like I've got a bagworm problem in my choke cherry patch. If I would have known that, I'd have brought a feed sack and some garden shears and got rid of them. So here's a plum thicket, but this stuff's all old and tall, so we'll cut some more choke cherry and get some plum stems from down on the bottom. This stuff is golden currant. I didn't even know we had any on the place. It's not super common right up here. That looks like it's got pretty nice stems. Got some plum, and I've got some lilac, and I got just a few of those golden currant. I wish I had cut a few more of these and plant them along here, but they don't propagate very quickly, so I didn't want to take a whole bunch of them, even though they're pretty good looking shoots. Anyway, I'm going to measure them out a little over 30 inches and trim them down and bundle them up. Found this guy on my way home, so we're going to use him for a bow backing again. Well, no turkey for me. I couldn't get them to come out of those trees. I'm not a very good turkey caller. They were all henned up, but I got a bunch of arrow shafts. I trimmed those down and bundled them up last night when I got home. Split out some old turkey wing feathers that I had saved up. And before I came back, I borrowed a heat gun. So we're going to see if I can't bend this on here, get a little bit of that gull wing profile maybe. I didn't go all the way flush because the clamp started getting pretty hard to move right about there. Okay, I added that piece of fiberglass in there. I'm going to try to fix this twist I've got while I'm here. Not sure how, with a wrench maybe. So here's what I ended up with. I do think I'm gonna bring this handle section narrower just a little bit. I've got small hands. I just feel like I'd get a little more positive grip, a little more consistent grip if I do that. I know it's probably not technically accurate, but I think I'm going to do that. Well, I lost a little bit of my curvature as it settled overnight. I'm going to do 2 layers in one run. See you when I get done. I've lost a little bit of my gull wing curves, but otherwise I think it looks pretty good. So it's going to sit up there on that shelf with the other one, and we'll revisit them in a couple of months, maybe sooner. Thanks for watching.